Okay, warnings. I've never made a video before, so don't expect anything technology-wise, cool-wise, because that's not going to happen. A second thing, this is going to get pretty personal. I'm not sure why I decided now to do this. I guess I was on my way home from Athens and I became completely empowered with motivation to just tell the world. But everything I have in my head sounds so perfect and it is exactly what I want to say. But when I try and put it into words, it just comes out as like blah. But basically, I guess I want to make 3 major points. The first thing is I'm sick and tired of all the talk about mental illness, people making fun of it, people making jokes, especially people who don't understand. And whether it's cutting, depression, anxiety, bipolar, eating disorders, whatever, what you don't understand, if you don't understand something and you can't put yourself in their shoes, then just simply keep your mouth shut, because who are you to judge when you haven't been there? If you have no experience. So, and that's one thing, before I had my problems, I laugh along with anyone. I never could think, why would someone cut themselves, or why would someone want to kill themselves? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's so stupid. They must be psycho. That's what I used to think too when I was 14. But, so what I'm here to talk about is bulimia. It started when I was 15 years old, and oh, one thing I want to get out straight is I used to be completely ashamed. And since I've been recovering, I decided I'm not ashamed anymore, because I'm proud of myself for fighting this, for going through, for fighting something that wants to destroy me, basically, which is how I felt about this my whole entire, well, I guess I haven't thought that. I used to think the main reason I never told anyone through high school, really, was because I would think they would think every time I went to the bathroom I was throwing up, or every time or they would think I'm selfish because, look, I'm consuming 3,000 calories and throwing them all up back into the toilet. Well, there's children around this country starving. And then they would think, what's she have to be sad about? Like, she has a great family, she has this, she has that. What does she have to be sad about? Honestly, I don't know. I hated myself in high school. And I hated myself for a very long time. And I still remember the first night I threw up. I was 15. I was watching High School Musical too. And I was by myself and I was just in a horrible mood. I don't even remember why. But I was like just eating and eating chips and dip. Chips and dip. Eating it, shoving it in my mouth. And it got to the end and everything was like all perfect and happy. And I started crying and I was just like, that's not how life is. That is not how life is. And I just like got upset and I was bawling over High School Musical too. Weird. Anyways, so then I went upstairs and I made myself throw up for the first time. And that's when the cycle started. It was pretty much on and off till that point. Didn't get really bad again until my senior year of high school, when I had started to see myself gaining weight. And that's one thing about bulimia, is it's not necessarily an eating disorder surrounded by weight. Because when you throw up, you're not losing weight. Each binge, like when you binge, like say like 3,000 calories, you're only throwing up about 1,500. So it's not like you're doing it to lose weight. It's like I can control myself. I couldn't stop eating. My stressor was eating, and I couldn't stop. And afterwards, I would just feel so disgusting. Like I would feel so full and pathetic and fat. So, I mean, yes, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it has nothing to do with weight. And it did. And who's to blame? Society? I could go on and on about society, but obviously they're not only to blame. But, so then, anyways, back to that. So my senior year happened, and towards the end of the year was when I realized I needed help, because I was doing about twice a day, every day for a month maybe. My mom found threw up residue on the toilet. It's embarrassing, hard one to kind of just be like, what are you talking about? That wasn't me. But so one day I came to her, and my mom had been going through a lot, so I just told her I had really bad anxiety, because I didn't want to tell her that her daughter's been throwing up, because I never wanted her to blame herself, because my parents are so amazing that they would be the last people in the world to ever blame. Who to blame, I don't know. I don't know why this happens. I don't know why I did it to myself. But at the same time, like I said, everything happens for a reason. And I'm making this video because I want to help people like me. And I've said that since day one. And you know what? I have not made one motion to actually do so. And that's why I'm making this video, because I figure, hey, you got to start somewhere. And I want this to sprout out because I want to help people. And I can't help people if they don't know my story or where I come from, if they don't know I've been in their shoes and what they've gone through. But so then my mom sets me up with this therapist for anxiety. She doesn't think it's a big deal. She knows I have anxiety problems, but she's just like, whatever. See her. Things start to get better in my life, so I think I'm cured. Go off to college, meet some amazing girls. Everything's like great. I'm thinking again, like, oh, I'm cured, like, yay. That's the thing about bulimia, is you're never fully cured. But so then by the way, I don't even know if I'm going to post this, so yeah, we'll see. So, hi, Deanna. So then something bad happened fall of my freshman year. If you're one of my friends from college, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to throw that out there on the internet. And from that moment, so when that happened, even though I'd been doing so well and I was living in the dorm, so it was kind of hard to, like sneak off and make yourself throw up, I found a way. And winter break happened and it was really bad. I relapsed pretty awfully. And that's when I confided in my first friend in Ohio University, and it felt so good to tell someone, and she was actually in my same position, which scares me, because I met two girls in my group of about 7 friends going through the same thing that I was, which is horrible. I think there's a statistic, don't quote me on this, but I think there's a statistic 4 in 10 girls at college have attempted to throw up or throw up as a means of trying to control their weight. So college age it's kind of the worst. We're binge drinking, we're binge eating, and purging is a lot of times the girl's way to try and control it, because, and a lot of times, and that's the thing about eating disorders, is they're all about control. You're trying to, you can't control anything else in your life, so you're trying to control this. I've done countless papers on eating disorders since I was a sophomore in high school, so I think actually some people I know might even have a hint. But so it went from so I started to get worse, and then finally towards the end of my freshman year, another series of unfortunate events happened that I do not also wish to share with the internet. Those who are closest to me know about it. But then one of my good friends, she finally convinced me to tell my mom. And I did. And my mom was great about it, and my mom had a lot going on, my whole family did, but I was done. I was like, you know what, I need help. I can't just keep lying about this. And my mom was really strong. She got me the help I needed. And since then, it's never been as bad as it was. Spring of my freshman year, I was probably throwing up as much as possible, binging as much as possible, crying. You really don't know what it's like to cry on the bathroom floor. You hear that in songs, crying on the bathroom floor. I don't know how many times I would do it and just cry in a ball. It was almost pathetic. But now I look back and I was like, you know what? It's not pathetic. I know there's a negative stigma on mental illness. There is, and it's a disease. It's not something people do for attention. That's another thing. People are like, oh, people who cut, they just do it for attention. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what's going through their head. You don't know what's going through their mind. And also, and that's another thing, my friends were, whenever, I pretty much tell everyone now, because I'm not ashamed anymore. And when I would tell people, they were always surprised. They'd be like, wait, you have depression, you have anxiety? Okay, anxiety people can sense from me because I'm a very hyper person, but they always act like they never would have guessed that, which is oh, okay, apparently I'm good at hiding things. It beats me, but, so, again, I have no script for this video, so I know I kind of just ramble and whatnot, but I just was driving home today and I was like, you know what, I want to tell everybody, I want everyone to know you have no reason to be ashamed. And there's some other stuff I was supposed to put in here, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, yeah, just the biggest thing. Oh, and another thing, why I was afraid to tell people is because I was on some website one time, because I was looking up stuff about this, and about like other people who were fighting the same battle I am. Okay, that's Tanner. And so then like there was one thing that stuck out is like I'm afraid to tell anyone because they're gonna think I'm too fat to have an eating disorder. I'm not skinny enough to have an eating disorder. And that really stuck out to me. And I'm like, I thought about that. I was like, maybe that's why people are surprised when I tell them bulimic, because they assume that if you're bulimic, you're supposed to be a stick, which is actually very untrue, because most bulimics are either average weight or overweight. Because like I said, when you throw up, you're barely like losing what you have. It's like it's the binge. The binge is what like my anxiety would cause me to do, and then throwing up was like the release, and it was, I don't know, but I can say I'm getting better every day, and I made this video because I want to help people. I want to reach out, and I want people to know that they're not alone, and that they're not crazy for thinking the things they do, for hurting themselves. That doesn't make you insane. And that's the thing about our society, is it makes you seem like you're psychotic or you're weird or whatever. And it's just, it kind of kills me, because maybe if our society was more accepting of mental illnesses and treated it like the diseases that they are, for instance, like maybe then people would not be so ashamed. Like for me, I kept it from my mom for 3 years, kept it from anyone for 2 years, kept it from the gist of my friends for 5 years. And why? And even when I was getting better, I was still afraid to tell anyone. Okay, so I kind of cut that part off because I started to ramble and I sensed it, so I'm going to try not to do that again. I have a problem. But I basically wanted to end on the note, like I was saying, I wanted to change someone else's life. Like, I had people to support me and let me through it, and I'm surrounded by some of the best friends, the best people in the world. And I know not everyone else is. And not everyone's as blessed to have the family and friends that I do, and I thank you for that. And I know my friends are going to see this that didn't know, and people from my school, people from all over. I don't know if you're going to change your view of me. I hope you don't, because I'm still the same person. It's just now you know part of me that you didn't before. And like I said, no longer am I ashamed of this part of me, but I'm proud of myself for fighting this. And like I said, it's not something that's cured after therapy and medicine. It's something that is with you for your whole life, but it's made me who I am, and it's made me so motivated and so passionate to help others out there like me. And this is just my first step, because I'm going to make a difference. I don't know how, but I'm going to. I'm going to make a difference in another verse. Even if it's just one life I change, that's okay with me, but I hope it's not. I hope I change a lot of lives, and I hope I help a lot of girls who hated themselves the way I hated myself. And I hope they learn to love their self like I love myself now, and see who they really are. And I hope I can help them find themselves, because that's what people have done for me. They've helped me learn to love myself and see the great qualities I possess. And they've helped me learn to see the good things in me, because before all I saw were the bad things and what I hated about myself. I didn't see anything I liked about myself. Nothing. I would go home and cry myself to sleep for hours. But okay, I'm rambling again. Anyways, I'm gonna just end on this note that I made this video because of my friends and my family who've always been there for me. You all know who you are, and I love you so much. And thank you for giving me the strength to post this video, and thank you for giving me the strength to tell everybody my story, even though this is only like a really small portion of it, obviously. But thank you.